Good to go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is What's Good Denver, a weekly celebration of culture and discovery and fun stuff to do in Denver for kids, couples, singles, and old timers. I'm Ryan Estes, today with Tom Tombstone Donahue and the 23rd ranked CU Buffaloes, Troy the Terror Higgins. Today's feature is spooky stuff, but let's get into the real thing at hand, which is BTCATH. Bitcoin's about to hit an all-time high, so we're gonna check in with it all throughout the show. We're at 73,339 according to Coinbase right now. So all-time high is what, 74, somewhere about there, or did we hit it already?
All time. Well, coin market cap's the place to look.
Okay.
All time high is 73,750, and on coin market cap we're at 73,442. Oh, it's pushing up a lot. It's going.
Yeah, it's going.
Get it in view for the
people. So, and Troy had a good question. Why is this happening? Why is Bitcoin going through the roof? Tom Donahue, you are our crypto expert. Chime in with why you think it might be like skyrocketing right now.
Please enlighten me, because I don't know why this is happening. Couldn't tell.
There's a lot of stuff. Also, since we started the podcast, it's up like $130. So I think we are directly influencing the price.
That's right. It's our live stream, dude. Buy.
It's the live stream. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. Exactly.
Not financial advice, but
yeah. Do your own research. But no, really, there's a lot of things that add up to a factor. One is just its natural market cycle. You know, we had halving happening. I think the halving just happened recently this year, and usually after that is when Bitcoin raises like 1,000% right afterwards. So I'm pretty sure there was a recent halving, which always contributes, and then we have the election coming up, and a lot of people are looking towards that to guide what types of policies are going to be coming out in regards to cryptocurrency. And Donald Trump coming out super pro crypto has definitely helped the market. Also, a lot of people are, seeing Trump as being the winner in the polls and numbers. So I think that is what is pushing a little bit of cryptocurrency at the same time. But really, if you go look at the charts, it's kind of just it's part of the natural market cycle. I think everything's just lining up perfectly timing wise. And, with the US dollar, national debt, and, inflation, people are using cryptocurrency as a hedge. And, we've been working with a lot of gold recently, Ryan, with one of our clients, and we know for a fact that Bitcoin is the number one competitor to gold right now. So I think a lot of people...
And I just checked, gold is way up too today.
Really?
Yeah. Which I think is so interesting that like gold and Bitcoin now are competitors for kind of like, we call them conservative investments, long-term buys, because, and I heard a podcast about this, particularly around inflation expected to go back up, especially, okay, now we're starting to think that Trump's going to win this thing and he's going to cut taxes and like install tariffs. And so they're predicting that like inflation's going to spike again, which then would create, even though they just had 50 basis points roll back on from the Fed, that they'll actually have to raise interest rates again. So this guy was talking about this about a week ago and kind of predicting that like this would happen. And so now we're starting to see. So it's like, if you hold gold or you hold Bitcoin, sweet, but it might have kind of looming implications for the greater economy that like, man, we might be in for another downturn if we even got out of the downturn from the beginning.
Exactly. And we're now up like almost $250 since we started the stream. So in my opinion, all-time high is coming maybe during this podcast.
What was the number again? 70
on coin market cap, which is kind of the standard here, because this is an aggregate across all And I'll just send it in for you over here.
I'm on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, all-time high was 8 months ago at 73,750.07.
So we're $200 away.
We're 200 away. Less than 200 away now. When we started the podcast, we were at like 73,300. So, anyway, welcome to the What's Good Denver Crypto podcast.
It's just so fascinating, man. I mean, Bitcoin, the fact that its competitor is gold is bananas, but maybe not. I mean, perhaps it was designed to do just that, which is like, you have scarce commodity, that it holds real value.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's wild, man. And the adoption, I remember 10 years ago, it was just like a joke, I wish I wasn't joking, but like, it's incredible, especially because, what's the name? Satoshi is like nobody knows who it is.
Yeah. There's also recent news with that where HBO came out with the whole documentary and they claim to have outed the real Satoshi. That person has since gone into hiding. So that came out in the past month or so, and there was all this big hype around it. So there's all recent news. We have the halving schedule, which historically adds to the price of Bitcoin immensely. We have elections happening with more crypto initiatives and more crypto policies than ever before, being part of this campaign cycle. And people are just know that it's here to stay. I mean, the people who have been around for a while have known that, but I think it's really starting to settle in now. And
yeah,
the SEC has been trying left and right to sue and prosecute certain protocols, and they've failed time and time again. Obviously, there have been some that they've won against, but major protocols have beaten the SEC in the Supreme Court and in certain cases. And it's all things are looking good for crypto right now, especially, being less than $200 off of all-time high. This is and all the media always waits. Like, once it hits that exact number, 73,750.07, you're going to see every single news outlet say something.
It's going to go bananas.
Yeah. But they don't do it until it actually hits.
Did you guys get in on any of the early day Bitcoin stuff?
Oh, Troy, don't ask these questions.
My little brother's friend's dad had 10 Bitcoins that he bought for $100. He sold them at 1,000 each in like 2017-ish, somewhere in there.
Yep.
Because you think, like, wow, look at what,
I can't believe it's $10,000.
Yeah.
The right way to think about it, I think, is like, right on, man. 10,000 is awesome. You made a good idea, or you had a good idea. You made good on it. No problem. Take your wins. Take your wins. Don't look back.
You can't be mad. Can't be mad.
You can't do that mental math, because like literally you will lose sleep. And there is like a curtain, I think, in my mind where that kind of speculation of what if I would have I just closed that curtain. I'm like, no, we don't go into that area of the brain. We do not go there ever. That is a terrible place of despair. Oh,
yeah. So just really quickly, the Bitcoin halving that I was mentioning, the last one happened in April, and it's something that happens every 4 years, and this is programmed into the blockchain to happen every certain number of blocks. And historically, every time it happens, Bitcoin goes up, a couple hundreds, even sometimes 1,000%. So if you look at a chart that shows you the timeline, I got it on the screen right here. I mean, it's a little hard for everyone to see, but you have a halving and then a historical. So the halving that happened in 2012, in the 365 days after the halving, plus 5,000%. 2016, 360 in the year after the halving, plus 284%. 2020, in the year after the halving, plus 560%. So 2024 halving just happened, and
nice.
That's also something that really gets people excited for a big jump in the price. So we might be seeing that unfold.
It's just interesting too, because crypto, Bitcoin was like hot news. That was like the tip of the spear for tech. And then it kind of went into the background as like last few years as AI just like absolutely exploded, largely with large language models. I mean, it's like AI has been like matriculating forever. I mean, Facebook, which is, or Meta, is what, one of the 3 or 4 biggest company in the world. And they've been using AI profitably since like 2013. I mean, that's how they can deliver those ads so perfectly, because they know exactly what you're doing and how to deliver them to you. But it was the large language models, right? So you have ChatGPT where people are like, oh, wow, I can actually use this as some kind of utility. But as a result of that massive race now, everybody's going after like these large language models, because that seems to be where the puck's going, that you have this increased demand on energy to the point that like Microsoft, what was it? They got 3 Mile Island. And so like now these companies are going to literally have nuclear power to generate for their own large language models. And this was like from kind of the granola left, this was a big, kind of gripe with crypto. It's like, oh man, it takes too much power. It takes too much power. It takes too much power. But now you have this like these LLMs that are eating so much power that it makes crypto just be like, hey, we're actually kind of energy cheap here. You're getting a deal on energy with crypto. So it's like the tip of the spear in technology now is actually going to drive the price of energy absolutely to zero. We're all going to end up on electric everything. Energy will be basically free and massively abundant, because the financial incentives have aligned so much that like, dude, we're going to have to figure out really good nuclear options, because that's what we're going to need to run the entire planet. I don't know, man. It's so wild, man. We really live in the future.
We do. Crazy. Things are changing rapidly. So
yeah, weird. I did see Microsoft spent it was like over $1 billion on just building data centers. Licking County, wherever that is. New Albany
County.
Yeah, and so NVIDIA goes from like this kind of stalwart chip manufacturer that makes dope stuff for like graphics cards, and that's what the Spheres all used NVIDIA chips, and then suddenly now they're like top 10 all-time companies. And it's interesting because who's their CEO again? I'm gonna look it up. He's awesome. Jensen Huang. He was being interviewed, and they're like, okay, if you knew what the future held, would you do it all over again? He's like, no. he's like, you don't understand the suffering it's taken to make this company happen. He's like, if I knew what I'd have to go through to get to this point, even with all the success, I wouldn't do it.
That's absurd.
Wow.
I'm just like, damn, dude, what happened to this guy? I mean,
he's been through it all.
He's seen everything, but he's still got a great haircut, and he's always got that nice leather jacket. I think he's doing pretty good.
I'm sure.
Doing better than a lot of people, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just a few billies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's dive into the episode. Okay, so it's also spooky season, so that's going to be our featured for this afternoon. To follow the show, go to drumroll. I put the website together and I pulled the trigger.
Oh, yeah.
realgooddenver.com.
Wow.
Real Good Denver.
Are we live?
We're live. Yeah, I threw it up there. It's realgooddenver.com. Not only can you find the show on all of our social platforms, I think I got them all on there, but also the new newsletter that's been growing very, very quickly. I think when it's all said and done, I got to upgrade the newsletter subscription, but we got about 11,000 people signed up so far. So if you want just a quick weekly update of like a handful of like great events coming up for the week, maybe a weather report. Who knows what we're going to do with that, but it's one email a week just for the people of Denver to know what's going on in Denver. So go to realgooddenver.com, sign up for the newsletter. Of course, you can find the podcast and all of our socials there as well. And of course, you'll find our TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that. Our music is by the illustrious Troy the Terror Higgins, and we are sponsored by kitcaster.com. Let's jump right into events. Tom, what you got on tap this weekend?
Looking good. The website's looking good. I got a couple, everything's pretty spooky. Everything's pretty Halloween themed, fall themed. These are kind of a couple basic, new ones. And then later down for our feature, got some like must see, some like tried and true spots to hit. So let's just start off. I got this week's best bar crawl. Last week we talked about Halloween bar crawls, but this one, the Denver Halloween bar crawl on Halloween. That's on Thursday, run by Nastive Entertainment, starting at the Jaguar Room. So Jaguar Room's where you check in. Now this is your ultimate Lodo and Rhino feature. We had a lot more. The one last week went all the way downtown. This is like your Rhino Lodo special. And
it's right in there.
I looked through a bunch of them, and I was just trying to see which one's hitting the right places, and this is definitely it. So we got
cool.
Larimer Beer Hall. That might be where the check-in is, actually. Yeah, probably Larimer Beer Hall for check-in. Improper City, View House, American Bonded, Jaguar Room, Zanzibar. What else we got? Swanky's, El Patio, The Refinery, Beer Style Lager House, Odell Brewing. I mean, there's over 20 different Halloween parties going on. Nice. You get your specials at all of them. So if that's what you're looking into doing, these people must have this locked down, because they have Orlando, San Diego, Dallas, Denver. So whatever this company is, I guess that's what they do.
There's a zombie crawl.
You see the zombie crawl picture of that girl with like her face?
It's disturbing.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one. That's an intense costume right there.
That's an intense her expression, man.
She must be a makeup artist or something, because that is legit looking.
Oh man,
she's looking scary.
I just watched this movie, speaking of scary, the other day, The Substance. Have you guys heard of that? It's a new movie. Margaret Qualley.
No.
It's disturbing and sickening, and you're going to want to turn it off after about 30 minutes into the movie. So if you like being disturbed, disgusted with
is it gore thing, or
it's like body horror, which is like just very grotesque and visually shocking. But I'm not a fan of usually. I'm not a fan of that genre. So if you want to feel sick to your stomach, go watch that movie.
Man, all right. Yeah, that kind of stuff's pretty gross to me. I don't know if I'm really down for
it. Yeah, the picture of this lady's costume reminded me of it.
Oh God.
Okay, something else we maybe have talked about before, but I've heard that this is pretty cool. The Ghost of Capitol Hill tour. Cool. Okay, this is it's happening all week. I mean, you can go tonight. You could go to actually tonight's sold out, but tomorrow through Friday, actually even through November 8th, they got this tour going on, and I actually know about a couple of the spots now. And there's all really good stories that these guys got. Apparently the tour guides do a really good job. And if you want something spooky, check out the Ghost of Capitol Hill tour. There's also even like Ghost of Downtown. Like there's a bunch of different ghost tours apparently. One of our spots that we talk about a lot, Bow Brew House, is actually a stop on some of those tours.
You know it.
Mm-hmm. I think you were the one telling me, Ryan, that it used to be like a brothel or something, and it's haunted now, and there was a whole background.
Yeah. It has a rich history, that building, for sure.
We were talking about that when we were eating in there. It's like, man, think of all the people that, a lot of good times in there. Don't get me wrong, but like, man, Old West brothel, dude.
Yeah.
Some heinous crimes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep powering on. I got something that looks cool. Spooky sips, leftover Halloween candy, and wine pairing event. And this must be good because it's at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Denver, and they don't really put anything on that's not good. So I'm sure that it's you know, good sommeliers, good pairings here, and figure out which wines to drink with what candy. I mean, what else do you need the day after Halloween? It's going to be on Friday, November 1st, 6 to 8 p.m. 22 bucks.
So the header image is all gummy. So it's got the gummy worm, the bears, the rainbow, look like Sour Patch Kids. So when you're going through your Halloween bag, what's your go-to first? Are you going to the chocolate or are you going to like the gummy Starburst Skittles route?
Ooh, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I like the gummies for sure. I'm probably starting with the chocolate though. I'm starting with the Reese's and the Snickers and the other good stuff. And then
Kit Kats.
Then go sour later on.
Yeah. What's the transition candy? It's like a Three Musketeers. Ooh. Like you're weaning off the chocolate. You're like Three Musketeers, gummy, Starburst.
I honestly, the little mini, the Snickers, the little bite-sized ones, those are just can't go wrong.
Yeah, those go down.
Classic staple.
Any shape of Reese's is going down.
Yeah, and then you gradually move on to the Sour Patch, the dots, the little box of dots.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you got to be desperate to get into the dots. Or they used to have these candies that was like, it was like a piece of paper with like a blue sugar dot on it, not like an actual dot.
I don't remember that one.
That was sad. That was like pushing into like Thanksgiving. You're like, well, I guess I'll eat this.
What was the worst thing you guys have ever received, like when you were trick-or-treating, or Ryan, if your kids were trick-or-treating, what's like the worst thing, like as a substitute for candy that like someone in your neighborhood was handing out?
Oh, the Jehovah's Witness pamphlets have got to be bad. I mean, no disrespect. They want to share the good word, which is great, but like, dude, just do nothing. Don't do that. You know, that's not going to be a good look.
They went and said trick or treat and got a Jehovah's Witness pamphlet.
I definitely remember that. They're like, here you go, sweetie.
Oh,
you're like, what is this?
What about you, Tom? That's a good one. That's up there.
There were always the people who would think they're funny doing like, here's some celery or here's like an apple or something, and it's just like, now we're gonna throw eggs at your house later. I think I got a hard-boiled egg once.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that thing's in your pillowcase all night?
No, it just gets thrown right back at the house. They knew what they were doing. They hard-boiled them so that they would just bounce off the house.
I've gotten like a baggie of orange slices, which just it just got real mushy and watery and leaked in my bag. That was pretty bad. I got ants on a log in a Ziploc baggie, like celery with peanut butter and raisins.
Oh, yeah.
So that just smashes in there.
Ants on a log.
That's me.
Yeah, so it's just hand out candy like a normal person this year, please.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Inflation took its toll, though. I already broke into the Halloween candy. Sorry, neighborhood kids, but there was a peanut M&Ms pack. There was two peanut M&Ms in the bag. I was like, dude,
no.
What are we doing, man? That's not cool.
Individually wrapped peanut M&Ms. But anyway, yeah, get your leftover candy. So actually, I just read up on this a little more. So they're gonna have Bill Thayer, which I don't know who he is, but I do now. He is the sommelier from the Wolf's Tailor, which is one of the first Michelin star restaurants in Denver. So that's who's going to be curating this event over there, which if they got a Michelin star and he's their sommelier, he's going to do it right. So
I don't know why I feel like beer would pair better with candy, but I'm not a sommelier, so
beer with
probably
candy. Yeah. You're really getting all the sweets in when you're doing wine with your candy. So
yeah,
maybe
what would pair with like candy corn? Like I
have no idea, honestly.
I have to ask the sommelier.
I drink wine pretty rarely. I mean, it's fun here and there, but I
Yeah.
drinking wine and eating candy is definitely not on my typical punch card. My sweet tooth has faded in recent years, but when I do want something, I really want it.
Yeah, it's like eating candy and drinking is like that's like diabetes fuel. You know what I
Sounds
mean?
terrible, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, a little chocolate is good with like bourbon or something. Like a dark chocolate is almost good with everything. But
Mm-hmm.
man, if you're eating candy corn and drinking, that's a recipe for disaster.
Hard stuff right there.
Yeah, and all this stuff is saying that dark chocolate turns out to be pretty healthy in a lot of cases.
Read.
By the way,
Stick
we're
with that.
down about almost $900 from where we started the podcast. So we went up, now we're back down.
What do you got? 72.
677.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Look at Solana though.
Solana, we're bullish on Solana.
Ooh, bullish on
Love
Solana.
it. All right.
Yeah.
Red Rocks tonight. Ashniko with Rico Nasty, Cobra, and Oscar Scheller doing a DJ set. Wednesday and Thursday, T-Pain. Red Rocks.
Nice.
Hell yeah. T-Pain's a goat. Wednesday, he's got Akon as the special guest. Thursday, Lil Jon as the special guest. Friday.
Two nights with T-Pain. That's amazing.
2 nights with T-Pain, followed by 2 nights with Dead Mouse.
Wow.
Friday and Saturday, Dead Mouse. 25 years of Dead Mouse.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He always does Halloween stuff.
Yeah, he's a big Halloween guy. T-Pain has the official Halloween night. And then Dead Mouse with the following, weekend. Sunday, Anjuna Deep. Open air, deep house. Cry, Dosum, Cry On. It's just a bunch of deep house Anjuna peeps coming through. And that's it for this week. We don't have a Monday or a Tuesday show next week. Saturday and Sunday we got a bunch of the trees coming through bass, and then we're almost done for the season.
Can you believe it?
Tiesto's closing us out on November 15th. And then we go into the Christmas and color season. So it looks like they're going to have some light shows at Red, maybe like a drive through the parking lot type deal. But that's what we got. That's what I have for normal events. And then I'll have some more for this feature later on.
Heck yeah. And speaking of the feature, we will be including like at least 30 different events in the newsletter this week. We've been running that all month, and it will continue through this week. So definitely it is realgooddenver.com. Sign up for the newsletter. You see all the spooky stuff.
Oh,
all right. I got a couple of events. These are all free, by the way. We've got the Aurora Fox Cultural Concerts. Apparently, this is Native American Heritage Month, and so they're doing a concert. They've got the Aztec group, man. Those Aztec names are something else, man. They got so many consonants. I wouldn't know how to pronounce that. You guys want to take a stab at this? Huitzilopochtli. They're Aztecs.
Huitzilopochtli. Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one.
Man, that's terrible. Anyway, the Aztec dancers are absolutely stunning. They're the most, I think, dramatic with because they get to have the tropical feathers. You know what I mean? So those dancers are absolutely incredible. I'm not too familiar with their music, but I would love to check that out. And then there'll be a whole bunch of Plains Indians out there, which is the second group, which is Seven Falls Indian dancers. They're Pawnee, Flandro, Crow, and Cree. So they'll be out there doing powwow songs. And man, if you've never seen traditional dancers with powwow songs, super powerful. Go check it out. It's free, and that is on Tuesday. Oh, it's today.
It's over.
It's over.
Noon to 1 p.m. was the main performance.
Hey, you got 23 minutes if you want to try and get down there.
23 minutes or a time machine. Go check that out. I hope they had a good time.
Yep.
Um, we have Noche de los Muertos with DJ Leo Munoz. Munoz. So this is on Thursday at the High Dive. Come in costume and bring photos of loved ones to add to the altar. The music is cumbia, salsa, and chicha. I don't know if I know chicha.
Chicha.
There'll be tamales and elote. So that sounds dope. And that's my one tradition I really love. Well, my favorite one from Mexico, among others, is that building that altar for Dios de los Muertos, like your loved ones, and honor them with the things that they loved. Such a cool tradition.
Yeah.
Again, that's Thursday at High Dive. We have the Daft Disco, which is at Cervantes Masterpiece on Welton Street. Celebrate spooky season. This French house and disco Halloween party, totally free. That is Thursday at 9 p.m. We've got First Friday, Denver Arts Week, which is on Friday, November 1st, of course. And November 1st is the Day of the Dead. That is actually the Day of the Dead, correct?
I think so.
Let's fact check it.
I think so. I think it is. Or no, it's Sam Hain, I think.
November 1st through, yeah.
Yeah, November 1st and 2nd.
Yeah.
And Sam Hain is Druid or something? Am I completely way off? I should have done some research here. Sam Hain, historical roots. Yeah, the Celtics. Okay, so that's my people. You know, the Celts. With Sam Hain. So it's kind of interesting that Central America and the European island both are having kind of the same kind of celebration around the same time. But it makes sense because, you know, everyone's like, okay, let's have one more big party so we all freeze to death in a couple months. Might as well get it out now.
Yeah. Nice.
So
The freeze.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cool Sam Hain, Dios de los Muertos, and Halloween stuff featured for First Friday. I think I'll probably wander on down to Santa Fe if I can. I've got a concert, Budos Band at the Ogden on Friday, which I love that group, but also Native Daughters. And a good friend of mine was a founder of that band. The Native Daughters are super dope. They're like major, heavy, but like kind of like, what's the like explosions in the sky genre? It's like instrumental metal. I mean, they've got a singer too, and they'll do some hardcore stuff, but they'll do like big, like huge 2 drum kits. I mean, they're dope. So I was really stoked to see that they're out and playing. But that's at the Ogden Theater. And then we've got yoga at the gazebo.
There we go.
There we go. The Colorado Parks and Wildlife is in with the trends. They know what's going on. They're like, we got all these state parks. We're doing all this cool programming. What should we do at Bar? Well, you should definitely do some yoga on the gazebo. And that's going to be Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. I hope they can get it done. We're supposed to be getting some weather pushing in tomorrow, perhaps some snow. So, but at this point, you know, it's a 2-hour yoga session, which is, that's a long yoga. So you've got yoga plus gazebo equals True Love Forever. And that is Sunday, November 3rd. It looks like I got one more thing too. We also have the Bloody Mary Festival in Denver, which is on Sunday, noon to 3:30. I don't know how I feel about breakfast drinking. Generally, for me, it's not a good idea, but I do love a delicious Bloody Mary. You know, I prefer to eat it in the afternoon. And that's it. Real Works Denver. And I didn't put it on here. I wasn't even going to mention it because I was kind of freaked out, but there's a grilled cheese and macaroni and cheese festival this weekend as well. And you guys can look that up. I wasn't going to mention it because just seeing something like that just makes my celiac rage and all my joints get inflamed. But I mean, for you folks that love carbs and cheese, that's out there for you too. So those are the events, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into highlights. Troy, what was your highlight last week?
Yeah, I made some Thanksgiving plans with a bunch of family. So that was awesome. I was kind of anticipating just like doing dinner at the house up here for Thanksgiving, and I ended up like getting a plan together. My brother's coming down, his girlfriend's coming down. You can see my mom, my grandma, some other family. So we got a big Thanksgiving plan. So excited for that next month. Gonna see a bunch of family that I haven't seen in a while. And yeah, that was my big takeaway from the weekend. What about you guys?
Nice.
I'm, I'm gonna shout out Daily Bread, which was the Saturday show at Red Rocks this week. Nothing like, fall time night with the Wooks. Full on bass show happened on Saturday. Lots of bread left at the door. Daily Bread fans love to bring loaves of bread to the concert, but Red Rocks wasn't having it this week. But there are still plenty of loaves that made it in there. I can guarantee that. And then another thing that I just need to shout out as a highlight, which I meant to mention this last week because we've always talked about it. I hit the haunted field of screams. Okay. And this is kind of a highlight, kind of a feature, because I think this is a place you got to hit up. During the daytime, it's called Maze in the City for the kids. Nighttime, Haunted Field of Screams. If the owner of this is listening, we want to talk to you, okay? It was good. It was scary. You walk through it. Big corn maze. Definitely get the VIP because the line is really long, especially late at night. It's adults only. You can have drinks there. You can do whatever you want, and it's fun. I feel like maybe they were a little short-staffed, but it was good. And you have high school kids all dressed up, scaring the shit out of you left and right. So walking. This is the first time I've done a haunted corn maze.
They were understaffed as far as like or like actors go.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Essentially you're like walking through the corn maze, and there's all different like scare zones in the corn maze. I feel like if they were fully staffed, there'd be a lot more people hiding actually in the corn, because the corn was almost your safe zone. Like there, here and there would be some people in the corn, but in my opinion, you would think that the corn is just full of people hiding in the corn stalks and stuff. But no, it's like and again, there was kids hiding in there, ready to scare you, but you're like walking through and you're entering like different themed areas that you walk through, and you're guided through, and you're getting scared in there. But the corn, they underutilize the corn because that's where it's really creepy. It's dark, you got the moonlight, and you can't see anything past a row or two of corn. So people could be hiding in there. They were missing that opportunity. I feel like it was because they maybe didn't have everyone on that night.
How big's the corn maze? Like, how long does it take from entering to leaving?
Definitely at least an hour, I would say.
Just the corn maze?
It's like an hour. Yeah, it's maybe like 45 minutes. But you go in. Once you're like through the line and you're off the line and you've officially entered, you get on, not to like ruin anything, but you get on like a tractor that drives you deep into the maze, and then you get dropped off, and then you start walking. It definitely takes like 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow, that's cool.
Is there like children crying?
There's no kids allowed after
okay.
dark. So
Okay.
For the
That makes
haunted
sense.
corn maze, I'm pretty sure it's adults only, or like, I think teenagers can go if you're signed off. It may be 18 and up, but you definitely can't bring like actual children in there. It was good. We've talked about it a lot. I've been passing by it for years and years and never went, and we finally went, so it was worth it.
Nice. 72, 732. So we're kind of flat, right when we started, seems to be with a peak, but maybe this is just a little dip before explosion into 80.
Oh yeah, no, this is how it happens. We're gonna be testing that ATH until it breaks through.
Football was my highlight and my low light. Both my kids lost their games, which was a real heartbreaker for my daughter. She's a senior, and this was her last football game of high school. They won league championship. They were on a streak. They got a bye in the first round of the playoffs, but man, they had a tough game and lost. So shout out to the South Ravens. My son lost too. But on the bright side, God dang, did the Buffs look good? Holy cow. The running game is going. Dude, the defensive ends are like swarming the ball. We completely stomped Cincinnati, and that was super cool. And then, of course, the Broncos came out, showed up, just looked like mid-season stride. They look absolutely amazing. Bo Nix was throwing darts, even with a bunch of drops from the receiving core. Nuggets Broncos won easily. So that felt good. We started on a kind of a low Friday, Saturday morning. Dang. By Sunday afternoon, it's like, hey, look, we got some wins. So
Broncos
that
are
felt really good.
undefeated in October.
Broncos?
Yeah, they are 3-0, so 4-0 in October.
Nice, dude. Yeah, dude, they're playing great. And, with the Buffs, man, like we've got real conversation for coach of the year for Coach Prime. It's easy to like dismiss because because like, oh, you hire, this guy turns it into a circus. He's got celebrities all over the place, you know. But I mean, when they hired him, they were what, 1-10, I think. And then the following season, they won 4 games last year. And now they're the 23 ranked team in the nation. I mean, they have really showed up, and I think it's a testament to like his coaching, but also bringing in the other coaches. Warren Sapp is the defensive end coach, dude, and like the defensive ends for the Buffs are killing it. Like they are just like all over the place. So he's got them fired up. And I think he's got to win college football coach of the year. And while we're talking about awards, I mean, Travis Hunter, dude, has got to get the Heisman. I mean, it should be locked down now. Not only is he like the best defensive back in the country by far, but there's an argument that he's the best receiver in the country too at the same time. It's just bananas, dude. And so you have Coach Prime is saying the same thing. Coach Prime is saying like, hey, this is the best college football player I've ever seen. And I like his caveat. He's like, and that's coming from me, you know? And I forgot. It's been so while since like Deion's been in the league that I went back and just watched some of his highlights. Dude, Deion Sanders was unbelievable. I mean, definitely
Legend.
top 10 athlete of all time.
He was incredible.
He was unbelievably sick. And like, so if he's saying that about Travis, and Travis is like, now he's got like this like swagger about him and like this like little, like he's just like playing out there, dude. I'm calling it. He's getting the Heisman. Coach Prime's getting coach of the year. CU Buffalo's already clinched up a bowl berth. It's the season of the Buffs. Go Buffs. Go Buffs. Let's go. Love it.
I think Travis Hunter, he'll probably be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft next year too. I would imagine.
Yeah, he's got to be. I mean, what do you do with them? Do you put him on both sides of the ball?
So I think it's whatever he declares as.
Yeah.
To choose one. I don't know if you could do both.
I mean, you got to. I mean, who gets the bigger if you're a lockdown cornerback in the NFL, like you don't have to work that hard. I mean, you obviously have to show up. They're going to test you a couple times a season, but like not really. They'll just stay away from you.
Yeah.
Giant contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So much fun. Okay, let's get into the spooky feature. Tom, you pulled some great stuff for Halloween, and having Halloween on a Wednesday is awesome because last weekend was super spooky, and then it's just phasing in all the way to this weekend. What do you got as far as like spooky stops?
For sure, I got some tried and true things here for the feature. So I'm gonna try to power through so we don't take too long. But Elitch Gardens, Fright Fest, there's not gonna be too many more opportunities to hit this up. Okay, Elitch Gardens is on its way out. It's moving. They're gonna be over by the airport. So might be one of your last chances to hit the OG Elitch Gardens for Fright Fest. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the development plans that were just approved last week. Ryan, maybe Troy, I'm sure you maybe haven't seen it, but Round Ball Arena is about to completely turn into another downtown.
Dude, we talked about it for like 20 minutes last week.
Yeah.
So, exactly.
Hello.
I know. I've been talking about it a lot, so it's hard to even keep track of it. But that includes Elitch Gardens going away. So I mean, just to reinforce that this might be your last chance for OG Elitch Gardens Fright Fest. Classic. Then we got this one's always, highly sought after, the 13th floor haunted house. I did it last year or the year before, I can't remember. Definitely this is your crazy jump scare haunted house. This is like every friggin' 10 steps you're getting scared nonstop the entire time you're walking through. There's crazy things happening in there. Definitely buy the fast pass. You're gonna be waiting so long in the freezing cold if you don't, and I'll tell you that. But yeah, 13th floor. It's cool. They actually have a tiki bar in the 13th floor. You can stop in there and get some drinks, whatever you want to do. A little spooky bar. There's a couple actually. There's one outside of it, and then if you go in, there's another one. So check that out. Yeah, if you want, this is the prime haunted house that everyone talks about each year in Denver. So 13th floor. Check that out. What else do I got? This is one that I just recently heard about, but apparently this one is the real deal. It's called the Ritual Haunted House. So this is the only haunted house I'm talking about here that I have not been to. So maybe I'll have to check this one out, report back. But from what I've heard, this is the real deal. We're down in Inglewood for this one, so we're not deep in the city. I think this is where you go if you want to go a little bit less on the jump scare route and a little bit more onto the mental trauma route. So if that's the kind of spooky haunted house you're into, that's why I might not be going to this one, because that's usually not my thing. But there are some haunted houses out there that are meant to mentally torment you, not just be jump scares.
Any physical torture with this one?
I'm not sure if they can touch you here. If they can, you would have to sign off on that. Sometimes they'll give you like a wristband if you don't want to be touched. But no, I don't think this is one of those. But those are out there, and I've heard some crazy stories about ones that are just absolutely insane. Ones that you can't even back out of once you're in them.
There's no safe word.
Yeah, there's no quitting. There's a crazy one in Pennsylvania. I've heard of one in Michigan as well, but
wasn't there a guy who was essentially doing it like out of his house?
I think,
and he got shut down.
I think one of these masterminds just has gone under fire. Actually, one of these like mental trauma haunted house organizers is being criminally prosecuted now. So,
dude, what's wrong with people, man? It's too far.
What's worse, the guy putting it on or the person buying the ticket and going?
No kidding. They're the same thing, just separated by space and time. Just separated by this haunted house. Because once that happens to you, then you automatically want to do it to somebody else.
Just one. I'll tell you the first like 1 minute of one of them that is in Pennsylvania. It's one of the most like world-renowned haunted houses.
You've done it?
No. My sister-in-law did this one, and she told me just how it starts. And this one, she wasn't able to back out once it started getting crazy. But this one is called the Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. And what she said was, you walk right in. As soon as you get off the line and you walk in, you're with your group, and you walk into this room and like nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden just the floor drops out from under you, and you all get separated into like different chutes, and you like slide out, and she slides out and instantly lands on like a gurney and gets strapped to the gurney. All the actors are there strapping her up to the gurney, and they have like a thing that's meant to look like an injection. You don't actually get injected, but she said it like pinches you pretty hard, and like they pretend to like inject you with something, and then they start like rolling you off, and she's like, that's just how it started.
Oh, okay. Nice. Where do I sign up?
So you're instantly separated from your group, and that's a given at any of the mental trauma ones. You'll get separated no matter what.
You don't get to enjoy it with the people that you went with.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's meant to be a solo experience.
Oh,
So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. That stuff is too scary for me. I draw the line at jump scare haunted houses, because when it's a teenager with some high school level stage makeup on, I'm just like, you're 15. You're not gonna do anything to me. But when it's like 30, 40-year-old dudes who like live to torment you, and they're strapping you to a gurney and injecting you with fake, whatever's, that's where I draw the line.
they're like Swedish black metal that were imported here to do their rituals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those middle-aged men are on like the brink of just snapping.
Yeah, this is all they have left.
Yeah.
It only takes a little bit more for them to just be like, you know what? The next person who comes in here, I'm actually gonna kill them.
I'm gonna use a real syringe.
Yes. Oh man. All right. Something quick I'm highlighting: drink or treat at the milk market. So for the adults, if you wanted to, because I saw in our theme that we wanted to highlight a little trick or treating type stuff. This is trick or treating at the dairy block milk market. For those who know, there are going to be some really cool bartenders from all around down there making scary, delicious cocktails at the dairy block. So they have, you get your tickets, you go through, and you get to walk around to each of the little restaurants in there and trick or treat to try all the different Halloween themed cocktails. So they have one example here, the Elitch Gardens cocktail. So they're gonna have some bartender there from Elitch Gardens, gonna give you a nod to the Final Destination movies with a cocktail made with vodka, lemon, Earl Grey simple syrup, egg whites, and then you'll go on the ride of your life or death with that cocktail. That's what it says. So whatever that means.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Drink or treat cocktails available for the entire month of October. Check it out. It's until November 3rd. You can go and do that at the milk market.
Nice.
What else do I got? I got a couple other things here. And then I'm going into the themed bars here. So Adrift. This is apparently one of the cooler ones. I've only highlighted the ones that I know sound pretty legit. I've had some bad experiences with these types of bars. I did the Tim Burton one. It just wasn't good, and we talked about that already. But Adrift Tiki Bar, the Nightmare in Paradise.
This looks fun.
Yeah, if you go check this one out, it's supposed to be good. I don't even think that you need specifically a ticket or a reservation. I could be wrong, but I think it's just open all the time. They got really good cocktails: Frog's Breath, People Eater, Pumpkin Guts, Poison Apple, and the Death Sentence amongst the themed cocktails. Haunted Happy Hour, so that's Tuesdays all day, including $5 off select popular cocktails. All day happy hour on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. and Friday from 4 to 6. Wednesday, they got Red Rum Wednesdays. Goblins and Grammar Adult Spelling Bee, that's already happened. And Thursday, nope, that's already happened too. But anyway, yeah, apparently this one's good.
Cool place to go with your friend group dressed up as Scooby-Doo and just be like the movie, where they go to the spooky island, the tropical island.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a solid Halloween movie too, by the way.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo, what is it called? Spook Island or something?
I think it was just Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. I did like those. The next thing I'm highlighting, so these guys, they are responsible for one of the other really cool themed bars, but I'm shouting out their tried and true, not tried and true. Well, tried and true by me because I've been there twice now. The Ghost Bar. This is in Larimer Square. It's also called the Ghost Saloon. You'll find it if you type either of those in. But it's kind of like a speakeasy type vibe. I talked about it on our speakeasy highlight. But it is really freaking cool in there. You walk in. You won't even find it unless you are looking for it because it's in Larimer Square down there in like the part of that underground network of Larimer Square, if any locals know what we're talking about here. But there's doors that it doesn't look like you're even supposed to walk through. There's a whole bunch of different stuff in there. You can make your own hats in there. They have like a merch store inside. They got a kitchen. Their bathrooms are really nice. Anyway, it's new. It's under new management, so Ghost just took it over in the last month or two. And they are also the ones behind the Boogeyman Halloween pop-up, which is running at Zeppelin Station right now in the upstairs. And this is supposed to be one of the cooler themed bars that you can hit up right now. And they got, you know, dance party vibes. It's a sought after spot to hit up, you know. It's not just like a come in, get your spooky cocktail. Like you got a party going on here. So that's at the upstairs of Zeppelin Station.
Dude, they look like craftsmen with craftsmen with the spider webs too, man. This is they went hard.
Absolutely. So downstairs Zeppelin Station, obviously that's open all the time. You can get your food, lunch there if you want, drinks. But then the upstairs, the Boogeyman pop-up bar is up Thursdays through Saturdays. You can check that out. It looks like they got a costume contest going on. They got a whole bunch of things. Just check them out on Instagram. It's Boogeyman_DNVR. And that is it. I tried to run through those. I think it took me 7 minutes, but got a couple good ones through in there. So check some stuff out.
Absolutely fantastic. I will just review a couple of the base rules of Halloween. First one, if you're going to get out and go out, get out of there at least a half an hour before it gets dark. And if you're driving around the neighborhoods right around dusk, even before, go super duper slow, because there are going to be little ghouls and ghosts all over the place. If you're taking your little ones out trick-or-treating, parents, wear bright reflective clothing and make sure that the kids are on the sidewalk or on the house. Don't let them get into the streets. This stresses me out. Like, I'm Captain Safety. Like, you're going to wear a Halloween costume, great. Wear the reflective vest. Just make sure when those Uber drivers are driving around that they can see everything. And then if you're staying home and you're giving candy to the trick-or-treaters, the proper etiquette is to have a bucket full of candy and say, take as much as you want. Don't just chintz with one here, one there. Let them dig into it. Some kids are going to take a bunch. Some kids will take one. It'll be great. And then when you're done, you close the door, you turn off the light, you close the windows, you're done, and you're out. That's a couple of things from etiquette. Okay. I think that's a wrap. One thing, I'm glad Tom mentioned Stan Kroenke's new development. Dude, since we've been talking about it, I think I've wrote probably about 2,000 hours. We were talking about this theory that, like, they say Stan Kroenke's worth 12 billion. I don't think so, man. I think he's worth at least 10x that. So I was doing some investigative journalism.
Okay.
This is what I do in the evenings now, about like all the different connections that through his wife, his cousins, like all these different things. Dude, it is vast, the connections, not to mention just the Broncos alone, which is definitely Stan Kroenke. He owns the Broncos. We know what's going on there. So I might publish that this week on the newsletter, or it's coming next week. But it's a 360-degree investigation to the life and career, controversial nonetheless, of Stan Kroenke. I'm obsessed with this guy. Now I'm in love. I think he's one of the most incredible entrepreneurs that America's ever produced. and his nickname is Silent Stan. So he's gone largely under the radar, but dude, this guy has got deep connections in media and sports and real estate and cattle, and like it's incredible. This guy is a mega baller. I mean, 12 billion is a lot of money, but I think that's just only the tip of the iceberg with this guy. So I'm going to publish that next week. We'll say that. I'm gonna punch it up a little bit more and publish that next week on the thing. If you guys want to check that out and want to join on the newsletter, realgooddenver.com. You can subscribe to the show and you can get our newsletter, including the feature on Silent Stan's Kroenke. So we'll get into that. Dude, fun episode, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Happy Halloween, everyone. And I'll see you next week.
Good episode. If the pod doesn't go live after that Kroenke
totally. Have a good day, guys.
If the pod doesn't go live after that Kroenke expose, we know why.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan's gonna get us snuffed out.
It's complimentary. Here. Exactly. No, I know. I don't want to mess with the Kroenke goons. He just send like 7-footers after me or something. But yeah, there's some controversy in there, but like it's very, very impressive. This guy, unbelievable Denver legend, without a doubt.
All right.
Cool.
Good.
All right, we are ending right now. What do you got, Tom? Where's Bitcoin?
72,330. So we're down from where we started, but that's all right. We gotta keep on pushing through.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
Not
Do not take my
advice. Do not take it. We are not advisors. We're just degenerate crypto enthusiasts. See you, everybody.
That's right.